All right, so let's get it started. Hi, everyone. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you for joining me on this Memorial Day. We're open even though a lot of places are closed. First off, thank all the veterans who've helped us create this atmosphere, this wonderful country that we have, and everyone else as well. We're going through a difficult time during COVID-19, and they're still out there fighting, so I want to appreciate their help. Today, we're going to just do a regular Q&A that we have talking about immigration law, U.S. immigration law cases, issues that pop up. This is general education only, not intended for case-specific guidance for you. You should consult with an immigration attorney in private for help and advice on your specific case. But I'm here to take questions. We're live on TikTok. Immigration Lawyer John is the handle, as JOHN. Also on Facebook as well, live. Thank you for everyone for joining. And this is also being recorded. It's going to be put on YouTube and all sorts of other social media places that I have, as well as some segments of it that have good information are going to be cut out as clips and put as well. So if you go to my YouTube page, JQK Law Firm, you can get information there or catch up on what was discussed here. I think you'll take advantage of that, get some good information. So with that, thank you for people that are trickling in. Feel free to throw out your questions and see if we can answer it, or if not, I'll let you know. There's a lot of things going on. One thing I want to talk about, that's a question that pops up a lot, and there's a lot of miseducation there, especially amongst immigration lawyers, is this thing called the 90-day rule. So the U.S. has a law that says if you're coming to the United States with a specific visa, you have to come here with the intent for that visa, not something else. So if you come with a tourist visa, your intent is to enter the United States as a tourist, which means you're coming temporarily, and then you're going to leave afterwards. However, if you get one visa but come with the intent to do something else, that can be considered misrepresentation or fraud, meaning you lied to get that visa, or you lied to the border officer about your intent of what you're going to do in the United States. And so once you're here, if you do something else, they'll accuse you of fraud. And so old school wise, there was this 30, 60, 90-day rule that said if you did something that was different than what the initial entry talk was, it's considered fraud. So if you come on a tourist visa and then you apply for a marriage green card within 30 days, that's fraud. 60 days, it's a rebuttable presumption. And 90 days, okay, they may do it, may not, or something like that. This analysis, although a lot of lawyers still think it exists, does not exist. There's nowhere written on this. There's one place called the 90-day rule. It's in the Department of State, the embassy system, where they talk about the 90-day rule, and they constantly rejigger it, but it's become very strict under President Trump's administration. So if you come and do something that's not fully within the sphere of your visa, and you go out and do consular processing later, they can accuse you of this fraud, and it's really difficult to overcome. You'll need a waiver. It's a big headache, expensive, and it's not clear if it's going to work out. However, if you're in the United States, they don't go by the Foreign Affairs Manual where the 90-day rule is. USCIS has its own policy in the policy manual, and in it they specifically say they do not go by the 90-day rule. They adjudicate each case as it is to see what's going on. So if someone does come, for example, on a tourist visa with their girlfriend or fiance or boyfriend or fiance, and then all of a sudden the coronavirus hits and they don't want to leave, and while they're together, let's say, let's just get married and stay here. We love each other anyways. That does show a change in mindset that could overcome something like that. So it's good to have a return plane ticket, for example, to show that your intent wasn't to come, and all sorts of other stuff to document that was the intent. Usually they're not strict on this, especially if you're marrying a U.S. citizen or doing what's called an immediate relative case, or you're a parent of a U.S. citizen, which is also considered an immediate relative type case. And also a child under 21 as well. There's cases by the BIA, the Board of Immigration Appeals, that have said they're going to show leniency in these kind of cases, even if it does kind of show that there was some misrep happening there, or their intent was different when they came, if the foreign person doesn't have bad history, any arrest history or something where you don't want to be here. So the judge would make a discretionary positive decision in regards to the foreign national, unless there's an outright lying and they could document that. So they're really flexible on that for immediate relative cases, spouse of U.S. citizens, if adjusting status in the United States. Now, this court rule doesn't go towards spouses of green card holders if they're doing that, but you could always, if it comes up, and I've never seen it actually come up, but if it comes up in an immigration, interview, you can discuss it with the officer, let them know that wasn't your intent, if it wasn't. Now, if it was your intent, you're lying, you're going to be in trouble. But sometimes people come here, they don't get good legal advice, so they go to a paralegal, and they give bad advice, and they just file too quickly, and there's a worry that this could happen. So note that, you could show and talk with them, show, this wasn't my intent. Things change, especially nowadays with the coronavirus. You might not want to get on a plane again. Or if you get out, you might not be able to come back in for a long time. And if you're with a loved one, you don't want to leave and not be able to come back to your loved one. So these are serious issues. Now, you should consult an immigration attorney. Many immigration lawyers will tell you something differently than what I told. I had a consultation today where very famous attorneys had told the opposite of what I told them. And they had given terrible advice that they should do something different that's going to create a lot of problems for the rest of their lives. So, that's why you got to consult the immigration in private, maybe consult a couple people, talk with different opinions to see which one works. I'm not saying just to come here with a tourist visa and just get married, it's okay. It depends on a case-by-case analysis, depends on the facts of your case, and you got to keep in mind, each officer handles things totally differently. Most officers would have a problem with this because of the history of how this so-called 90-day rule works in the United States for spouse of U.S. citizen cases, for example, but they could be different, so you got to be prepared for a potential waiver or arguing the benefits and arguing your case in court before an immigration judge. So be prepared for that. Just note that, as I said, there's a lot of differing opinions amongst immigration lawyers, but read the rules. Go to the USCIS policy manual on the 90-day rule. They explain it there, and read the cases, Matter of Cavazos, Matter of Ibrahim. They discuss it there as well. Those are some good starting points of law. That's actual law and policy that could help you, as opposed to the misunderstandings of people's blogs that counter each other and don't follow what those court decisions and the policy by USCIS actually says. All right, so let's jump into questions. We had a quick question that popped up. Let's see. All right, Jimmy Conas, hello from Dallas. You look sharp today. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm glad to hear from you. Glad to be on the show. Sorry for the delayed response. I wanted to talk about that topic, but thanks for joining. Thanks for everyone else. We got a good little group here. Beard Boy asks, hello, sir. My I-485 is ready to schedule for interview. What next? How many days will I receive notice? There is no fixed days. So when your case is ready to be scheduled for an interview, this is when you go on uscis.gov, put your case number in, and it gives you that information. Case is ready to be scheduled for interview. There is no fixed time. It could be a week. It could be a year. It could be a year and a half, 2 years. Who knows? It just depends on when your local office has the time to see you. So I'm not able to answer how long it'll take because it is not a fixed time. It depends on whenever you get the appointment notice. So just be prepared and be patient. Thank you all for joining. Okay, so we got a good group here. Let me know. Let's see, Papu asks, my dad is in Pakistan and it's been over 6 months. So this is a question I'm getting repeatedly, and so I'll go over it here again. When someone is a green card holder, they're not supposed to be outside the United States for more than 6 months. If they are outside the U.S. for more than 6 months, when they come back into the United States, there could be considered applicants for admission as opposed to a returning resident. And that means the immigration officer could ask them and grill them a lot and ask a lot of questions about their background to make sure they weren't abandoning their green card status, meaning living outside and not really living in the United States. Typically, they're not that hardcore on this, so I'm not going to ask questions on it. But now under the new public charge rule, when they do ask these kind of questions, when they get the right to get into it more, they could ask to see if you're a public charge, meaning are they going to be an issue where they're going to cost taxpayers? Do they have health insurance? All this kind of stuff. So that's a new thing for people being outside the United States for more than 6 months. That's problematic. But typically, it's not that big issue if you could show your life was in the United States, but you got caught up overseas for some issue that happened. So you need to show your life in the United States, you had a place here, and that the thing that happened overseas was outside of your control. Now, some lawyers say if it's more than a year. Now, the statute says more than 6 months. That opens up that they're an applicant for admission. That means they could question him and all that kind of stuff. More than a year could be considered immediately abandonment. But again, they're not that strict on this, especially if you could show that your life is really here. But you absolutely don't want to be out more than a year because they could easily claim abandonment, saying you left your green card, left your residence in the United States, you're gone. Also, it's an issue for citizenship. If you're outside for more than 6 months, that resets the clock for continuous residence, essentially, especially how strict President Trump's administration has come on this. So if you're out for more than 6 months, it could really mess up the timelines for you to be able to get citizenship. Also, even multiple absences of 4 or 5 months at a time could become a problem, saying you're not actually living in the United States. Because the key is, when you're a green card holder, you're living in the United States. And if you're not living here, that could be problematic. That could be something that could cause them to take the green card away from you. Historically, they've been pretty flexible with it. You got to be gone for a lot of years before they get hardcore on this. But it's always up to the port officer. So when you enter the airport, for example, some officers will look at it. They have the authority to really mess with you and create a lot of problems. Usually they don't. Usually they're too busy, or usually they're flexible. They understand life happens, but it's not guaranteed. They have the authority to really play with you and do some stuff to you if they want to. So you really don't want to be outside the U.S. more than 6 months. If there is an inkling you might be stuck out for that much time or more, please apply for a re-entry permit Form I-131. Consult with an immigration attorney. The re-entry permit is a backup plan a lot of people should have if they're traveling a lot, because they might get stuck outside. I see this all the time. They go outside They get into lawsuits, they got to stay extra, deal with the lawsuit. They go outside, a family member is sick, they got to take care of him. They go outside, they lose their money, can't even buy a flight back or something like that. Just get the reentry permit, have that safety backup there. If you need more information on that and want to schedule a consultation, email me at info@jqqlaw.com and we can discuss it further. Please note, fees do apply for consultation. So let's go back to the questions. Okay, we got a lot of questions in the meantime. Let's see what I missed. Amy asks, sponsored overseas husband on green card, how long? I don't know. There's a lot to go. I'm not going to go into how long things take because the difference, depending on different case types and stuff. We have a private consultation if you like me to go over that. You got to ask when court's open. Check with the local court that you're going to go with. Go on the EOIR website or call the court and you get information on that. Jimmy Khan asks, I missed my fingerprint appointment. However, they updated my case and said they will send my old ones. Okay, and if you're covered. So when you apply for a green card, you have to do a fingerprint appointment. If you miss one, they're usually pretty flexible and they send you another notice. But here they said, you know what, we had your fingerprints in the system. We'll just use the old ones. So thank God you're covered. That won't be an issue. Hi, Rob. Thanks for joining. Hi, Papu. Yavin asks, hey, sir, when is court open? Or answer that. User 805 asks, hi, sir, I applied for a green card and got my approval, but no fingerprints yet. What will happen? I don't know. I got to see what's going on with your case. Just be mindful if a fingerprint appointment does happen, please go to it. But I'm not sure what's going on with your case that you didn't get fingerprinting in the first place. Jimmy Khan asks, this is for adjustment of status for permanent green card. Now, what will be the next step, interview or green card? I don't know. It depends on your case and what they decide to do. Sometimes they do interview, sometimes they don't. I needed more information. What is the basis for the adjustment of status, for example? So, I mean, just consult in private with a lawyer. This is really case-specific info. It could vary depending on the case. I wouldn't be able to answer it here. Beard Boy, a regular asks, I have requested for address change on April 22nd till now. No update from them. I did online. What should I do? They're not that consistent in providing updates. So when you're not a U.S. citizen in the United States, either as a temporary visitor or a green card holder, you always have to update the government with your address change. If you don't, it's a criminal offense. You can get fined. There's all this kind of stuff. They don't enforce it. I've never seen it enforced. But what you should do is go to Form AR11. It's an online form. And put your new address in there so they have it. That way the government could send you letters if they want to. When you do update the address, they usually mail you something in the mail, that confirmation that happened, but it's not consistent. But when you do the AR11, it goes in their system. And either you get an email that gives confirmation with a confirmation number, or there's a next page that comes that says this is your confirmation number. Just hold on to that to show proof that you did update it and hope that it works. You could always call USCIS if you really want to double check on it. Call them on their 1-800 number, confirm with them that they have the new address in their system. So that's really something to be mindful and important of, because if you miss something in the mail, it's a problem. Now, one thing that's really annoying is if you have a green card case pending, the system where it has your address for where to send your interview notice is a different system than where your AR11 goes to. So you might update your address, but the interview notice goes to your previous address. So in those kind of cases, you should have a lawyer, because the lawyer gets it all. That's one of the main reasons lawyers are there, to get this additional mail, so in case you didn't get it. But also, if you have a green card case pending or change your address, call them up to double check that they have the new address in the system so you don't miss that interview notice. For me, it doesn't matter as much because I get a copy of whatever my clients get, so I always have a heads up on this kind of stuff and could update it if the clients don't get it. But if you're doing it on your own, definitely call in if you want to be really safe. That's the thing to do. Amen asks, is there a way to call my husband earlier? I don't know, Amen. I gotta talk with you. I heard it takes 2-3 years. I gotta see what's going on with your case to be able to answer that. You're welcome, Papu. Let's see. Hello, King. Hello. Amen asks, how long to reapply for naturalization once denied? If you have a citizenship case and it is denied, technically you could reapply immediately. But in your kind of case, we got to figure out what the reason was for denial, because you don't want to go through another interview and just get denied all over again. So technically, you can apply immediately, but logically, practically, you want to see what the reason was. If it's something easy to overcome, then apply again. If not, I would always consult an immigration attorney or two to see what's going on with the case, to see if it was appropriate or not, and if you could overcome that denial. You're welcome, user 806, Jimmy Khan. Married to an American citizen and its adjustment status. Thank you for answering. You're welcome. God bless. Congratulations on getting married. Hopefully get the green card sooner. User 805, can I travel to outside the country with a travel document while my green card is in process? So you got to be more specific, user 806. A travel document has many different types. It could be a passport, it could be a reentry permit, it could be advanced parole documentation request, it could be something else I might have figured. But if you have a green card case pending and you did apply for advanced parole, you have the ability to leave and come back. If you don't have it, your case will be abandoned. However, it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to return to the United States. Normally, it's not a problem, but I can't advise you, particularly at your case, whether it's okay for you, because I don't know anything about your background. For example, if you have any arrest history, they may not let you back in the United States. So you got to be careful of this stuff. I can't advise case-specific stuff, but generally, advanced parole does allow travel back and forth and avoids the abandonment of the adjustment of status application, the green card application. But whether it's appropriate for you, I don't know. I need to have a private consultation to review your case. All right, official asks, green card holder applied for a wife, how much time for I-130 case approval? Go to uscis.gov. There's a case processing time feature there. Put in the case type that you have and the field office or service center is dealing with it. It's on the bottom left of your receipt, and see what information you have there. That's the place to go to for your type of case. It varies. That might be some general information that could help. It's not really reliable, but maybe just. Gamer Boy, thank you for following. If you haven't already, you're on TikTok, please click on the profile button, follow. There's also a link tree that has my website, my Yelp reviews, my all this kind of stuff, newsletter, YouTube page, and Instagram page where I post approval notices that give you some idea of timelines which you might be interested in, because a lot of people are asking about this stuff. Just follow Instagram, follow YouTube, tons of information in addition to the TikTok information that's here. I think you'll like it a lot. If you are on Facebook somewhere else, definitely join TikTok, a fun app, and you'll get a lot more information about immigration law. Leigh Bascaz, hi there. Is there a chance to extend ban on immigration? When you ask a chance, I mean, I'm not President Trump. It's not. There's always a chance. That's that. Eamon, how can I consult with me? Send me an email, info@jqqlaw.com. If you go to the link tree above in the profile, it'll have a link to my website. You could set a consultation. There is a fee for the consultation, but when you contact me, describe what the immigration issue that you have is, so I'll know how much time, I'll estimate how much time you need, and I'll break down a fee. And if you like, then we'll set up a video consultation where I can speak with you and your spouse, a 3-way video call, so all of us could talk with each other and take it from there. All right, so a lot of people are joining. Thank you so much. Okay, so waiting on some new questions. I'm sure they'll pop up. But yeah, the timeline question does pop up. It's very case specific, and a lot of times I have to sit and explain it. It takes like 10 minutes to explain, so I'd rather just do it during a consultation. Alexander asks, is there a minimum time period when you need to have on your B2 when you try to come to the U.S.? No, I'm not sure what your question is, but probably not. Let's see. Is there a minimum time period you need to have on your B2 when you try to come in the U.S.? There's no I'm not sure what your question is, but one thing is you have to have a passport that's valid for longer than 6 months from the time you want to come here. So let's say you come to the U.S. and you want to stay for 5 months. You need to have 5 months on your passport plus 6 months. So 11 months, or 5 plus 6, 11 months on your passport. So be mindful of the expiration date of your passport whenever you're traveling to the United States. That's really important when you're coming here on a non-immigrant visa. Labas, my case is with a National Visa Center. I submitted I-864. Are they gonna? And then it wanders off. I'm not sure. Official round says, in USCIS site, the receipt date for case inquiry is June. Okay, if that's what it says, that's what it says. Don't look at the receipt inquiry date, look at the other information, but that's that. With regards to submitting, submitting her affidavit to support I-64 on the embassy website, you submit it, you got to press all the right buttons and upload the right stuff, and they'll eventually review it, and if there's missing documents, they'll come back to you and say somebody's missing, or they'll say you're documentarily qualified, and then you wait for an interview. Right now, the embassies are shut down, so it's not clear when the interview is going to happen, but just do your paperwork right. What I found is when people do the cases on their own, the most difficult time they have is on the affidavit of support. So if you need, consult with a lawyer for help and to take you where you need to go with that. Yeah, so you asked the question again, I just answered it. Okay, so a lot of questions, like a bullet round of questions. I hope you're all doing okay with the coronavirus, being stuck at home. It's a stressful time, but I'm glad we have this community here. We got some questions and take our minds off that. Bella asks, can a green card holder get citizenship before 5 years? If the green card holder has been married and living with a U.S. citizen, they can, or maybe if in their military sometimes, depends on the situation, but that's about it. Typically, you have to wait at least 5 years or 4 years and 9 months after getting the green card to apply for citizenship, and that's if you qualify on the other requirements. So the timetable is just one of the requirements. There's continuous presence, there's physical presence requirements, there's criminal history issues, there's tax issues, there's all sorts of other stuff that we need to analyze to make sure when you go for your citizenship appointment, they don't deny you and potentially kick you out of the country or put you deportation for something you didn't pay attention to. Bella asks, can a green card holder get citizenship? Before I answer that, thanks, you're welcome. And we just had Alejandra and other people joining. Thank you so much. If you have some quick immigration questions, let me know. We do this Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. On TikTok, it's Immigration Lawyer John, and on Facebook, it's JQK Law Firm. The video of this will be on the YouTube page for JQK Law Firm, and clips of it will be on the Instagram page for JK Law Firm. If you need some additional information or like to catch up on this kind of stuff, you can find it there. Bella, thanks for following. Labas, I mean, during the ban, NBC going to respond or not? Yes, the NBC is operating. That's separate from the ban. The ban is regards to the interview or potentially after the interview. So just do what you need to do with the National Visa Center. If it's appropriate, get that out of the way. Again, I need to see your case to see what's going on to give specific case advice. But that's that. Just do what you got to do and then be patient. Though some cases, I had a consultation with somebody the other day where I told them don't move forward with the NBC because it's going to lead to problems in your case. Let's be patient. I can't go into details of it, but that's kind of the reasons you need to have a consultation with a lawyer to see if your case is one of those kind of cases. This was a case where a person could be accused of joining a terrorist group or something like that incorrectly. So I said, you know what, the government in the U.S. needs to clear up this act, get them better information before we move the case forward because we don't want the case to get denied at the interview. So we're putting on hold until we can fix up the whole situation, and it's not clear how long we have to wait, but that's the situation. Sometimes things like this happen, and that's why consultations are needed to really guide you through the process and watch out for things. So it's always good to talk to a couple of lawyers, not just one or two. Sometimes, honestly, if you're going to do an immigration case and have your life on the line and do all this kind of stuff, I recommend talking to 5 lawyers because each one will give you different pieces of advice, and you go with the one you have the most confidence in. Alexander asks, sorry, I meant, can you come to the U.S. for a 2-month period when you got a 4-month left on your B2 visa? So this is a very important question. The visa stamp you have in your passport and the deadline on it when it expires gives you the time up to the time where you can come and knock on the door of entering the United States. It could be on the last day of that visa. You can still knock on the door, and then once they let you in, they'll let you in on a different time period. So if you come on a tourist visa, B2 tourist visa, let's say the expiration date on your tourist visa is popping up tomorrow, but today you're entering the airport in Los Angeles, when you're knocking on the door, going to the port authority saying, I want to enter the United States, up until our last day, you could knock on the door, and if they want to let you in, when they do, they typically give you 6 months, even if your visa is expired. So the visa itself, as long as it's valid when you're entering the United States, it doesn't matter if you want to stay longer than how long the visa is. They're two different things. Okay, let's see. 143, I love you. I asked, I apply my green card this month when I get my green card fingerprint. I don't know. Each case is different. I don't have an answer for you. You're welcome, Alexandra. Don't worry about these timelines. I know people are really worried about them, but there's no answer to these kind of things. You could try going to uscis.gov and seeing their case processing times, but they're not reliable. And so I don't even like answering those kind of questions. Bella, sorry, one more question. Can a green card holder invite his mom and dad to the United States? There's no invitation. So if you're a U.S. citizen, you can apply for their green cards. But if anyone wants to come to the United States to visit, there's no invitation. They go and apply for a tourist visa. If they're approved, they're approved. If they're not, they're not. But there's no invitation for that. This is a misunderstanding I get a lot from people. Sony asks how I am. I'm doing good, actually. I'm kind of stiff, so my shoulders are kind of sore right now from being stiff. I should loosen up a little bit. Let me open up a button or two, see what happens. Okay. You just stare at a camera, trying to make sure I'm in the frame, all this kind of stuff makes it too stiff. But I'm doing good. User something asks, seems the USCIS are running so slow. Yeah, the whole system's messed up. USCIS might be going bankrupt. They need a bailout. This is a messed up situation. Violent Films asks, how do I know what country I can travel to with a travel document? So Violent Film, what kind of travel document are you talking about? I don't know. There's a lot more that needs to be analyzed in your question. Tony asks, when do you think naturalization interviews will start? Well, it doesn't matter what I think. It just depends on what every local office would do. In Los Angeles, they're assigning a couple of O ceremonies for people who already did their interview successfully. They're going to be scheduling them for actual O ceremonies. But when do I think an interview? They say June 4th, but check uscis.gov. That's the authority on it. I'm not a player in making that decision. Bill asks, thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Wish you the best luck. You're safe as well. Sabun asks, if I apply for a green card, when can I receive? I am gay. I don't have an answer for that. You need to analyze your case to see what's going on with your case. It's not like you just apply and they give it to you. Just being gay itself doesn't mean you're going to get a green card. There's a lot going on there. You should consult with an attorney in private for help on that matter. Kara asks, how can I get a green card 5-year-old citizen child? Well, you can't get anything through the citizen child. How can you get a green card? Well, you got to talk with a lawyer to see what's going on with your case. That's not something I could advise here. 143 follows up, sir, without a green card, can I travel with travel document? I applied for my green card but not received yet. So please be specific. Do you mean advanced parole? If you have advanced parole, maybe you can travel, but I answered this question already. I need to know your particular case specifics. I need to have a consultation to provide specific advice on that. And you follow up. So I travel with only my travel document. Stop calling it a travel document because that's a generic term. It's like saying you're a human. Well, you might be a woman, you might be a man. You got to be very specific when you use this terminology. It's law. Just travel document is not helpful for me. I won't be able to answer these questions anymore, but email my office. We can schedule a consultation. There's a fee for consultations, but then we could talk about these there because it seems like you have a lot of questions that need reviewing, and we could discuss how the law works in your situation. So we're nearing the end today. We'll take a couple more questions. When will interviews open? I don't know. Check uscis.gov. Alexander asks, are they still giving out green cards and EADs without interviews? In some cases they are. It just depends on your case and what they want to do. So just be patient and we'll see what happens. There's no authoritative guidance on that, but we're seeing that happen in some cases. Whether that's you or not, I don't know. You gotta wait to see if it happens to you or not. If you're on Facebook, I'm seeing a good group here. Let me know, ask some questions. Let me know if you got a case or what city or country you're joining from. But we only have a couple of minutes left. So if you have some last questions, let me know and we could jump into it and answer that. If not, as a reminder, it is 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. We do these live discussions, TikTok, Immigration Lawyer John, and Facebook, JK Law Firm. And the video goes on YouTube and clips on Instagram along with samples of my approvals and all this kind of stuff where you get information. So Mahosh asks, if all of us got our immigration accepted, brother didn't because he's 27, how many years will it take? Well, it depends on who applies for him, what's going on. In that kind of case, you want to review it to make sure they didn't make a mistake, your brother should have got it, and then which family members will be sponsoring and what country they're from. It's not a question I can answer here because I need more facts in the case. So I would say schedule a consultation with my office and we can take it from there. The Violet Films, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming on live today. A little good group. We had a lot of good questions. I like having constantly questions coming back and forth. I live, eat, and breathe immigration law. That's all I do all day. So if you see my YouTube videos that are constantly coming out, it's pretty much all I do all day, reading and then talking about immigration and helping clients with it. But it's a great area of law, a lot of good people and helping a lot of people. So I really love what I do. I guess with that, we're going to start calling it end to it. If you have whoever's got the last question, let me know. If not, we're going to end it for today. Be back tomorrow again at 5 p.m. Pacific time. This is Los Angeles time. And we'll talk about immigration. I'll answer your questions there. If you do DM me, direct message, private message me, I can't answer you there. If you want a general question, ask here. Or if you DM me, a consultation is needed. Anna asked how to apply for a tourist visa. Well, either email my office, schedule a consultation, we could discuss it, or go to the Department of State's website. They have a breakdown of how you apply for a tourist visa. Listen to it there. It's good to have legal guidance for it because people make mistakes on it, but that may be the way to go to. Yuzo asked, do you know when Social Security will resume? Social Security never ended for it to resume, so I'm not sure what you mean. And I answered your question, but I guess that's it. Thank you everyone for joining today, Alexander. One last question. Will it matter if you don't file the Form I-864 and get an EAD? Sometimes it does. It depends on how they do it. Recently, they've been slowing up cases if they haven't filed the affidavit of support, but it's all over the place. They don't have exact guidance on there. All right, so we're getting some questions thrown in, but please save them for tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, same spot, same time, just a day later, and we'll talk about it then. Thank you all for joining. I hope you all stay safe. God bless and be safe again. Bye-bye.